Is Alliana Schneider, and I am the chef here at KCN Nutrition. And tonight we are going to be going over some quick and easy kitchen tips to make healthy living and eating easy and doable. So we're just going to go 3 quick tips. And we're going to start off by talking a little bit about planning. So I'm a huge planner. I succeed most whenever I plan things. One of my favorite ways to set myself up for success with my eating and just feeling good overall is planning on what I'm going to eat. So whether that's meal prepping, or if you don't meal prep, if you like to cook throughout the week, I like to write down what I'm going to eat. I actually have a weekly planner that I use every week. I print this because I like taking things with me, and I can just fold this up and put it in my purse. And I write on here, okay, for dinner, Tuesday night, I'm going to eat this. And then for Wednesday, I'm going to have leftovers from Tuesday night. That way I have a clear plan of what I can eat, what's in the fridge. And it's one of those things that if I end up eating something else, totally fine. But I have this to fall back on if I'm thinking at last minute, I have no idea what I can eat. All right, so we have our weekly planner. You can print this online. They're free. There are a lot of journals and stuff out there too. But if you're like me, you don't like carrying around an extra book. So these are wonderful. All right, second thing is, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I buy fresh produce and I have so much of it and I love the smell of it and I love what it does to my cooking, but I can't use it all before it goes bad. And then I feel guilty about throwing the produce or the herbs away. Who can relate? I know I'm not the only one. So one of my tricks whenever it comes to buying herbs is to put them in glass mason jars with water. Just like you would a plant or a flower, you have to water it. And it's the same with our herbs. They last so much longer when you do it this way. And that's what I have here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim my herbs. I'm just going to trim little pieces of parsley and little pieces of cilantro. And I have my kitchen scissors here. I'm obsessed with these scissors. I think my mom got these for me years ago. They're Painted Chef. But you can literally get them at the dollar store. You can get them anywhere. Any type of kitchen scissors will work. I think I have 5 or 6 pairs because I use them for everything. You can use them to prepare your meats. You can use them to chop vegetables. You can use them for just about anything. All right, so I'm going to cut some parsley over here. All right, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my herbs in these little silicone ice cube cups, okay? I'm also going to grab and show you ones that have already been frozen. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it, but I'm also going to show you the end result. So I think this was a pesto. Yeah, this is pesto that I made previously. And I put it in these little cubes. These are... I think these are technically like whiskey ice cubes because they're a little bit bigger than regular ice cubes. That way I can get in like a full serving of pesto in here. So you can find these on Amazon. But I put my pesto in here and then I put it in a bag and you label it, maybe put the date on there and write what it is. And so then when I'm prepping dinner, I can just throw one of these cubes on the stovetop and then I have fresh pesto. Perfect. Tastes delicious. Can't even taste that it was really frozen. Add some fresh herbs if you have them, and you're getting those nutrients in. It's quick and it's easy. All right, so all you do here is, I'm gonna crumble up my fresh herbs. I'm gonna cut up some chives. I love chives. Okay, use my kitchen scissors. This would go great with some sort of seafood, like shrimp, scallops. All right, so then all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some extra virgin olive oil to my cube. And so if I'm making, let's say, zucchini noodles and I want to saute them in something, I can pop one of these out. The oil's already in there, the herbs are in there. Maybe just add a little bit of salt and pepper. Any other of your seasonings of choice, and it's super simple. All right. Again, these mason jars you can find on Amazon, and same with these larger ice cube trays. Okay, my third tip. So I am a huge fan of small kitchen appliances. I don't know what I did with in my house before I had an air fryer, an Instant Pot, and a crock pot, because they literally come in handy so much. Okay, so this is my Ninja. It is, I think, an 8-in-1. It's a pressure cooker, steam cooker, a slow cooker. You can saute, you can air crisp, boil, bake, roast, dehydrate. So you can do just about anything in this machine, and I use it all the time. So one of the things I want to talk about is sometimes I think we put pressure on ourselves that things need to be fresh. And yes, fresh, sometimes it usually does taste better, but sometimes it's not realistic to always have fresh food on the table, and it's better to have something with nutrients in it. Maybe it was frozen, whatnot, than it is to, grab something quick we know doesn't necessarily make us feel our best. Sometimes it's about weighing we lost our screen there, we're good. It's about weighing the pros and cons. So in terms of cooking, we are going to make tonight quick way to just make some frozen chicken breasts. I always like to thaw my meat out if I can, but sometimes we don't have time to thaw our meat out. We only have time to put something in the oven, put something on the stovetop. And so what I'm using here is I'm using ButcherBox chicken breasts. I think we've talked about how much I love ButcherBox. I love ButcherBox. They send me a monthly supply of all of my meats, seafoods, and I can just pop it in the fridge to thaw overnight, or nights like maybe tonight where I don't have time to thaw something out in advance. I can just put it in here and it'll cook it for me. All right, so I am going to cut this open. And this is just plain chicken breast. And this is great for if you want to make a salad, or if you want to make, let's say, soup. I love making soup in my Instant Pot. There's wonderful soup recipes already online that you guys can look up on the website. I'm just going to empty this into here. Throw this away. I'm going to wash my hands. Okay, so I have my chicken in here. I'm going to add a little bit of bone broth. There's different ways you can incorporate bone broth in your diet. One of my favorite ways is by cooking with it and allowing my meat and stuff to bathe in it. So it helps give it flavor and also helps with the tenderness. So I'm going to add some bone broth in here. You can make your own bone broth, or you can buy it. In terms of making it, there's so many different ways you can make it. You can make it on the stovetop. You can make it in your crock pot. You can make it in your Instant Pot. I have a recipe for that on my blog. I like to use the remnants of vegetables that maybe are about to go bad, or things that I have left over in my fridge that I don't want to waste. So you can put all that in a crock pot with some filtered water, the herbs you have on hand, some salt and pepper, apple cider vinegar, and just let that cook. The longer you cook it, the richer it's going to taste. And I like to keep that on hand to just sip on or to cook with like I am tonight. But if you don't have fresh homemade bone broth on hand, you can buy store-bought. There's so many great brands out there. Kettle on Fire is great. Just make sure that whatever brand you're buying, you check the ingredients, because sometimes there's hidden things in there that we aren't so sure about. So when it comes to making frozen poultry or meat, you're always going to want to adjust the cooking time accordingly. And so for the instant, so let's turn this on. So for the pressure cooker, I'm going to turn it up to high. The temperature is high. The time, we're going to do, let's say, 10 minutes, because it's raw and it's frozen, so it's going to take a little bit longer. If it was just fresh chicken breast, I would say 8 minutes. And then whenever I take it out of there, I'm always going to check the temperature with a meat thermometer to make sure it's done. So it should be around 165 degrees Fahrenheit. That's typically the best way to check and make sure meat is done. So if I have my chicken breasts all done, I can pop one of these little cubes on the stove with pesto. Literally 5 minutes in the making. I've been talking a lot, so that's probably why we totaled up to 10 minutes, but 5 minutes, you put your chicken breast in your Instant Pot and pressure cooker, put some of the pesto on the stove top, add some greens in there, and you have yourself a full meal in no time. We are also going to be putting together a blog post with my go-to kitchen hacks and things to help cut down time in the kitchen. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to message us. We are happy to answer them for you. Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for joining.